Good evening, I'm Jacob Reimer. The Ohio State men's basketball team saw their Big Ten tournament run come to an end today. They fell to Michigan 71-67 in the quarterfinals. Bruce Thornton led the way with 22 points. Devin Royal followed with 13, and John Mobley Jr. added 12 points. The Buckeyes now have to wait until Sunday to find out where they will be heading in the NCAA tournament. With the win today, Michigan advanced to the Big Ten tournament semis, where they will meet Wisconsin tomorrow. Later tonight in Chicago, Purdue takes on Nebraska, followed by Michigan State against UCLA. College hoops around the state in the A-10 quarterfinals. Dayton beat St. Bonaventure 68-63 earlier today. And at 7:30, Akron takes on Kent State in the MAC semis. This update is sponsored by Germain Toyota. For unbeatable service and sales, visit Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road or online at germaintoyota.net. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Bring it up for Ohio State.
You've waited all day for this.
He's going to take it to the house. 85 yards. Down the right side going Devin Smith. Got it at the 5 and into the end zone. Touchdown.
The one show that's nothing but the Buckeyes.
And Graham Rucker for the touchdown. Graham shoots it high on the right for 3.
This is the Buckeye Show.
Off and rolling here on a Friday. I am Brandon Beam. Got my guy Patrick Murphy, the Murph Dog of Bucknuts with us. Reimer behind the glass. We also have a special guest for you live and in studio. He is the one, the only, the General Bobby Carpenter. Carp, happy Friday, buddy. What's going on? Good to talk to you. Good to see you.
Well, this wind is going on, Beam. I'm just glad we have power down here, like driving through here. I mean, you intermittently through Grandview, there's some lights on, there's some lights off. Yeah, I'm hoping we still have it at my house. It flickered. We were down at JT's Pizza.
Yeah, the one right down here.
Yeah, right down there.
Great
watching
spot.
some of the games. Yeah, watch Wisconsin, Illinois down there, and it flickered a little bit, but it did kick back on, which is good. People are about to start booing. But yeah, other than that, I mean, it's 60 degrees and it's sunny, so I'll handle a little bit of the wind and some dead tree branches falling down.
Yeah, absolutely, right. Pat, I know that you were texting Reimer and I during the Ohio State game. Your power went out during the Buckeye game against Michigan a little bit earlier on.
Yeah, really unfortunate timing.
You said the only reason you didn't come down here earlier is because you didn't want to put pants on, was the whole reason.
Yeah.
So you watched the end of the game on your phone.
Correct, yes. I had not showered. I had not showered or gotten dressed, so I was just sitting there, and I think they were on the 4-minute timeout, under 4 timeout when it went out, and just like, well, guess we'll do this mobily now. So turned on the hotspot, fired up the app on the phone, and watched the rest of the game that way.
I thought it was a really good performance by Ohio State today. I mean, I know that there's no moral victories when you get into March, but we all know that Michigan is a really, really good basketball team, and you gave them everything that they could possibly handle today. And for a team that had won its last 4 games coming into this game, Bob, the way that Ohio State is playing, and also knowing going into the game, like, no matter what happens, you're in the NCAA tournament.
Well,
like,
I hope so.
Yeah, well, I would anticipate them being in on Saturday evening. But it was nice to not for them to lose, but the way that they played today and the way that they've been playing the last 4 games, if that's indicative of anything they're going to do next week, wherever they get drawn into, I think you got to be feeling pretty good about this team the way they're playing.
The thing is, if you won that game, I think you probably get to a 7 seed.
Yeah.
And that would have been nice because the top 3-4 teams they're gonna be like Michigan, which Michigan's one of the top 4 teams in the country.
Yeah,
they
big
might be
size.
the number 1 overall seed when this is all said and done. So they had an opportunity to do that, came up just a bit short, missed shot here, foul there. It's on
turnover
the margins.
here, there.
But this team, I think we're finally seeing what they could be. You'd almost want them to be a 10 versus an 8 or a 9 with this, but you take what you can get. Listen, Jake Diebler's getting his first tournament berth. Bruce Thornton's getting his first tournament berth. Hopefully they get that first win, and you know what? Anything can happen. Like, you watch them play them dead to rights today. You get a shot to fall here or there, and maybe you got a chance to go up, make an upset, and shock the world.
Yeah, I agree, especially with the way that Wisconsin closed out, too, and you're playing hype, just like revisionist history. It's like, man, if you could have beat them today, you beat Wisconsin not that long ago on your home court. Maybe you're playing in Sunday's
I couldn't believe
Big Ten championship.
Purdue was a 7 seed. That's remarkable. They're a seed line above Ohio State in the Big Ten tournament.
You know how good Tom Izzo is in the month of March? Matt Painter is exactly the opposite.
Yeah.
Like, they just can't do it, man.
Well, you know why? Because he can't beat Jake Diebler.
Yeah, you're right.
That's the problem.
Yeah, the Painter Slayer.
3-0.
Got him there.
It's what got him the job. It's what kept his job. It's what got him in the tournament.
It's true.
It's all he does is beat Purdue.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. So you're feeling good heading into Selection Sunday. It's going to be great. How was the Woody this week?
Bob, because I know that Ohio State started spring ball. They've got.
You ever looked at a Where's Waldo book?
A couple of times, yeah.
Or like done a speed dating. I'm out there on the field, and people are like, well, who's out there? Who there? I'm like, well, this guy was that number before. I know we've got the updated roster. I'm like, it's hard when everybody has shifted numbers, and then you have 51 new guys, and trying to identify who is whom. And I'll be honest, like, I'm not going to toot my own horn here, but I'm pretty good at like watching people move and identifying who it was. And I'm like,
you could pick me out of a crowd.
I'm pretty sure that's Roker. That dude's wearing number 10. And then I asked somebody, and like I'm watching, like, I think that's his face. Popped somewhere. All right, that is Roker. Good. Like, all right, he's out there, like, running around at safety. You got Earl Little. Like, they've got some guys that they're looking good. Jalen's out there. Like, they've got dudes, but it was just hard to identify who was whom. Like, it was not easy, just given the fact that 51 new faces, probably plus, what would you say, 7 or 8 number changes?
Oh, yeah, easy.
I mean, so you're talking about like 60 new numbers that you're trying to identify, and it was not – it's hard. It's hard, but the first practice looked like there was probably 60 new guys or 50 new guys out there. Like, good plays were made, maybe not as crisp as Ryan would have liked it, a little bit better on Thursday, and they're going to work through that. But this is the new era of college football. Like, you have to put this thing together. You got to figure it out.
They put their names on the back of their helmets.
When is the last time they've done that?
Sweet.
It does look good.
So people like think it's tape. It's not. I mean, it's legitimately like embroidered. Not embroidered. Like, it's raised,
like helmet sticker.
Yeah. It is all. It's like built in to the bottom part of the helmet. It is raised up and it looks good. That's how I figured out. It's like, okay, it says Roker. Okay, that's what it is. All right, we're good.
Yeah, the running backs are working out right in front of us, and it was like Jackson, and Stanley Jackson Jr. So even then, you can't tell them apart.
There's a lot, but they look good. Like, it's a good-looking roster. It's a good-looking team. A lot of the new guys, like, okay, these guys fit. And I've got to see them through the winter conditioning and everything, and they're building that continuity, but it's going to take time, and that's what Ryan has leaned in on that. And I don't know if you guys can hear the pre-practice speeches and everything, and a lot of it's like, hey, we need to be together a lot. Like, you have to be able to play well with people, you have to be around them a lot, and not just on the field, but off the field. And so whether it's hanging out on the benches, hanging out in the locker room, whatever it is, spending time on the weekends, like, we've got to develop a chemistry as a team, and that's something they're trying to work on.
How hard is that to do, though? I mean, this is kind of uncharted territory, right, for Ohio State? I mean, you mentioned 51 new faces on this roster, whether it's freshmen, whether it's guys being added from the transfer portal. When you were playing, you'd be a first-year guy, second-year guy, third-year guy. I mean, there was no player movement, and if there was, it wasn't as dramatic as what it is now. So to be able to build this chemistry in one offseason through winter workouts, through spring ball, I know that Mark Pantoni has talked about that. I know Ryan Day has talked about that in keeping that culture. But, I mean, you're turning over more than half the roster. That's got to be probably their biggest challenge this year.
I would say we probably had like 5 or 6 net transfers when I was there. That's like guys leaving and guys coming in. And so this is a much different paradigm that they're living in. And I was talking to one of the guys, like, who is the secondary out there with you? And they just looked at me and it's like, I know
who's the guy next to me.
I know
right
it's
now?
Jalen. Like, I think like you're just trying to figure it out because they don't know numbers. Because when you're working out in the weight room, like, nobody has their jerseys on, and then you get guys that are changing numbers on top of that. So you can kind of hear voices, you can see guys move, but it's a process of communication on the defensive side. Offensively, what's pretty nice is you've got your whole offensive line really intact. I mean, Tegra left, but outside of that, you've got Gabe coming in there, trying to find a place for Ian Moore. Like, they've got good options. I think they've got about 7 or 8 guys they're working to try to see how the best 5 are going to shake out and what that ultimately looks like. You've got some really good receiver options. And then running back, obviously, with Isaiah and Bo being down, you're going to get to find out about some of the young guys. And I know everybody has been raving about Legend, and like he's a great kid, young man, and looks good and looks like a guy that could be a playmaker. We'll see not next week, 2 weeks when we put the pads on, then you'll really begin to find out what it's all about. But there has been some strides made, and there's a reason why that they're tied, I think, with 3 other teams as the betting odds for the national champion.
Yeah, I'm interested to see, Bob, because we had these conversations last year when Matt Patricia came in, And I would argue that Matt Patricia still has the tougher job than Arthur Smith this year with all the guys and the turnover that he is facing again on that defense. Now, we have the baseline. We know that Matt Patricia can do it. Arthur Smith, we know that he can do it at the NFL, but you mentioned it. Like, you got most of your starting offensive line back. You have your quarterback back. You've got Jeremiah Smith back. You're trying to find maybe different weapons at tight end. Nate Roberts, his evolution, I think is going to be an interesting one to watch, going from that fullback to actual tight end position this year, and who's going to be running counterpart on offense. But for the most part, you got quarterback, offensive line, star wide receiver back. So I'm interested to see what Arthur Smith can kind of conjure up in his playbook to get these guys kind of running free.
It'll be interesting to see because Chris Henry, like he splashed, and Ryan talked about him hitting a deep post, and he's 6'5", 6'6". Like he's all of that height and physicality. He's got all the attributes. McEwen, Devin McEwen from UTSA, like he is a twitchy guy. Like he's got a lot of stuff.
Fast.
Curious to see how they kind of figure out this receiver spot. Because you've got Brandon and you've got Jeremiah. And then outside of that, how do you deploy like the next 2 or 3 guys and kind of blend them in and see how all this works? And especially when you have some veteran guys who maybe know a little bit more now, can you move them around a little bit and kind of figure out exactly where you want to put them, which might be a little bit different and kind of add some spice to this offense.
Are you hanging around with us for the second segment, or are you leaving?
Well, the problem is my wife is...
you do whatever you need to do. We were supposed to have you on in the next segment, but you showed up early.
My wife is out of town, and I that's why I wanted to come down. I was already down here, so I got to get back to my kids to be able to get them some food.
Oh, come on, Bob. Be selfish. Stay down here for a minute.
I'm very selfish, but I got to get back and get them food and keep those rascals under.
Keep them alive.
Listen, exactly, Beam. Like, you've got Billy, like, just grow him 10 more years and then try to keep him under wraps. It's a lot harder than you think.
Hey, it was your boy Theo's birthday today. He turned 5 today.
Is he slowing down at all?
No, not really. I mean, he loves a good nap.
Maybe chilling out. Like,
yeah, he's pretty chill. He's pretty calm.
Not the young dog energy anymore.
He still likes to, scream and hoot and holler in the backyard when somebody's walking in the alley behind our house. But yeah, he's on alert.
He's protecting you.
Yeah, he's on alert. Bob, it's great to see you.
My pleasure.
Hopefully you have a great weekend. Enjoy spring break next week, and we'll check in again soon, all right?
I might steal some of these chocolate peanut butter trail mix here.
You got to get them open first. That's the tricky thing.
If there's anybody who's going to wrangle that thing open, it's one Bob Carpenter. Good to see you, buddy.
Yes, sir.
Have a great spring break. There he goes. Bob Carpenter's going to leave us. Keep his kids alive. Jake Diebler, he had some comments after the loss to Michigan today. You'll hear from him coming up next. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
The sound of Paul Keels calling a Buckeye game is erotic.
Oh, yes.
Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
2 hours ago, Kyle arrived at the bar.
Hey, what's everyone drinking?
30 minutes ago, Kyle got his friends another round of drinks.
Cheers.
5 minutes ago, Kyle decided to drive home drunk. A minute ago, a law enforcement officer pulled up behind Kyle.
Sir, have you been drinking tonight?
A chain of events that began 2 hours ago is about to change Kyle's whole world. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Get a recap of all the day's news from across the state.
ONN affiliate WBNS TV reports.
Haley Kirby reporting in downtown Toledo.
From the State House, Kevin Landers.
ONN Canton.
ONN affiliate WKYC TV in Cleveland explains.
In Marietta, Brett Wharf, ONN News.
Emma Henderson in Genoa.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Listen at ONNradio.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts. From the Ohio News Network.
AgPro has been family-owned and operated for over 64 years. We take pride in developing long-lasting relationships and offering first-class customer service. Need a new tractor, parts for your used equipment, or reliable service? AgPro has you covered. AgPro is here to serve you and your operation as your hometown dealer. Visit us today at any of our AgPro locations or go online to agproco.com to get started with your AgPro experience.
I love the neighborhood where I grew up, but it was tough.
Ohio State National Championship quarterback and former CareSource kid, Cardale Jones.
Football helped me find my direction, but I also needed the right support system. Seeing that CareSource heart around town, I just knew they had my back. That's the kind of difference they still make in neighborhoods like mine. This is so much more than health insurance. CareSource, today and always. Trusted. Visit caresource.com.
Imagine yourself in a new Toyota, like the best-selling Toyota Tacoma.
Now through March 31st, get 4.99 APR financing on a new 26 Tacoma. Excludes Jardy Pro and Trail Hunter. Or lease a well-equipped 26 Tacoma SR5 for $299 a month for 36 months with $39.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS. Tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Experience Buckeye game day like never before. Welcome to the 1922 Club, the most exclusive space inside Ohio Stadium, where luxury meets tradition in the heart of Buckeye Nation. Enjoy upscale food and beverages and a game day atmosphere like no other. Create lasting memories with friends and mingling with other Buckeye fans, and celebrate every OHIO in ultimate comfort. Become a member of the 1922 Club today. Memberships are limited. Visit OhioStateBuckeyes.com.
Of your favorite fan content? Good news, we're on all the digitals. Follow 971 The Fan on X, Facebook, YouTube, The Talk, and Gram. Your digital home for endless shenanigans. The Fan.
Come on over to Heartland and join our family.
Now, where can you get a full suite of business banking services served up by well-trained, caring employees with unquestionable integrity? It's right here at Heartland. Relationships matter. I'm Scott McComb. Come over to Heartland, where banking really feels good.
Where banking feels good.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
It's game day at Raising Cane's. If you want to order like a Buckeye, it's the action off the field you need to focus on. The only play you're running is chicken. So what combo are you picking? Make it a perfect season. We've got tailgates of hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers and cane sauce. And jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade. All available to order online or on our app. This season is about to be unbeatable. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love. Proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We are tracking those strong winds calming down as we head into tonight and for your Saturday. We'll see winds about 5 to 15 miles per hour with a mix of clouds and sunshine, and highs into the upper 40s around 50 here. As we go into Sunday, we'll see even warmer temperatures back to the low 70s, but it will be breezy with south winds at 10 to 25 miles per hour. However, we are tracking another cold front that's going to bring some rain on Monday morning, and then some much colder temperatures here for next week. And that's a look at your 10 weather impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Aaron White here on 97.1 The Fan.
4 out of 5 dentists recommend this show. The other dentist is a Michigan fan. Yuck. You're listening to The Buckeye Show.
Hanging out here on The Buckeye Show. I want to let you know that we're on The Buckeye Show, brought to you by our good friends over at CareSource. Great to see Bob. You know, great to see him in person. I saw him a little bit earlier this week. He was doing some stuff. I don't know why he was here. Our paths never really cross anymore. I mean, we'll text, we'll call each other from time to time, but always great to see him, especially kicking off spring break weekend for him. I know they got a big trip planned, so always good to see him. Great insight as well. I mean, that guy lives in the Woody Hayes, so that's going to be fun. We got Austin Ward coming up here in about 10 minutes at 6:30. More football talk. Pat, let's go back to basketball, though, today. Ohio State losing to Michigan I'm going to say the second round of the Big Ten tournament. It's technically the fourth round of the Big Ten tournament, but it was Ohio State's second round. It was Michigan's first round.
It was the quarterfinal.
Yeah, quarterfinal. That's the actual term in it. But I thought it was a pretty good performance by Ohio State. Again, there are no such thing as moral victories when you get into the month of March. But if you were going to lose a game, that's the way you want to lose a game. And again, this is a whole caveat, like blanket statement, no moral victories in the month of March. But you didn't want to go into that game against Michigan and come out of it the same way you did when you last played them at home, or like a couple of weeks ago when you went on the road in Iowa and lost to them in that dramatic fashion. Like, you didn't want to get blown out and then your confidence gets all the way ripped away from you. There are a lot of things that Ohio State needs to work on. They can improve on, but taking one of the best teams in the country all the way down to the wire. All right, again, no moral victories. You're into the NCAA tournament, but there's a lot of things that you could learn from this game and a lot of teach tape to be had.
Yeah, and look, you come into the Big Ten tournament, you avenge your loss to Iowa, that one you mentioned, the blowout in Iowa City, and then you go and you play your best game against Michigan of the three that you played this year. And look, they had chances to win that game. I mean, Bruce's drive, And, credit, Michigan and their size for being able to affect some of those shots. But, you were right there against maybe the top-ranked team in the country, right? I know they're not. I think they're number 3. They were number 3 in the final AP poll.
Yeah, but I mean they're one of them.
They've lost
on their
twice.
day, they're terrific.
Yeah, they've lost twice. One of them was to Duke, and the other one was on a crazy shooting day to Wisconsin.
Who just had a pair of guards score 69 points combined today.
Right, nice,
outrageous. I've loved every bit of it.
So I think you didn't accomplish what you want because you didn't cut down the nets and bring a Big Ten championship home. But you accomplished some things that I think are very positive. And to your point, I think even in a loss, this positive momentum continues into next week. And now you have some time to get healthy before you play Thursday or Friday. And, Tayson Chapman didn't play today, which was a big deal. Gabe Cupps came in and gave you some good stuff.
I thought Gabe played really well
today. He did.
And
but you want to have Tayson out there. What Tayson has developed into this year, a guy who can give you somewhere between 8 and 15 points. And, he's got length and things like that.
15 points from Tayson Chapman, you're over the
Sure, yes. But I think, without him, now if you can get him healthy, that's a positive. We saw Brandon Noel come back and play solid, I thought, given the fact that he hadn't played in over 2 months. So
it had been since December, right?
Yeah, January 5th was his last game, against Nebraska. So there are positives out of it. And like you said, Jake Diebler will not want to hear about moral victories.
No.
But even he acknowledged post-game that there was, they wanted to win, but they did some good things. And look, defense I thought was good. They were out-rebounding Michigan, a much bigger Michigan team, 19-14 at halftime. They only lose the rebounding battle by 2. If you can do that against Michigan.
You gave up 16 offensive boards the last time you played them.
So, cleaning things up on the glass, playing better defense. Remember game 1, that was the thing everyone was talking about. You give up 102 points to, what was it, IU Indy?
Yeah.
Or whatever,
Yeah, IU Indy, yeah.
Yes, it was IU Indy.
Yeah, and so then from there on out, for weeks, we're asking...
second to last in the horizon this year.
Yeah.
Hey, but they played a fun and chaotic brand of basketball.
Did they score 102 points many times this season? Do you know?
Yeah, I don't think it was a whole lot.
It was early season for both teams,
yeah,
right?
But I just think when you, when you look at the things that we've talked about with this team throughout the season, they are doing a lot of those things better now than they were even, a few weeks ago in that Iowa game.
I absolutely agree. I mean, it is the best basketball that they've been playing so far this year. Jake Diebler was talking about the second half adjustments. They slowed Michigan down. They were able to kind of crawl their way back into the game. It was very similar to the way that Iowa crawled their way back in the game. It wasn't like some huge run for Ohio State got them back on even terms. I mean, it was a 3 here, it was a 2 here, it was free throws here and there, a turnover. It was kind of a slow crawl back into the game for Ohio State. But here was Jake Diebler talking about the adjustments they made from the first half to the second half.
They adjusted by, getting them behind our defense and ball screens and some of that, right? We had some misexecutions, on a couple of those, and then his activity on the glass picked up a couple. There were a couple opportunities for us to pick up the ball that we just didn't quite get to today, just didn't quite bounce our way. We certainly had to, be more disciplined on the perimeter. They got a couple of their looks early were too good. Some of them were within kind of what we were doing schematically, but so that was some stuff we talked about. Is we knew there was going to be a heavy ball screen attack. We had to guard that well. I thought we did in for majority of the game. They got behind us a couple times for the lobs, and that's a real weapon, with his size back there. So again, good player. Good player. I thought we made it hard for him for most of the game.
I think they did a terrific job on Yaxel Lindenborg today. You look at Yaxel, 6 points. He was 1 of 4 from the field. He did make his free throws down the stretch when he needed to. But, I mean, you're talking about a Player of the Year candidate, Big Ten Player of the Year, a guy who can really take over games. And Ohio State did a pretty good job containing that very daunting Michigan front court.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. They were talking on the broadcast. They went to the sideline guy, so to speak. And it's like, oh, Yaxel's, he's doing all these other things, and he's a coach on the court. Then they go back to the broadcasters, and they're like, yeah, but he needs to score more than 4 points.
Yeah, he needs to do something.
He's the Big Ten Player of the Year, and some of that was on him.
It would be like Bruce Thornton, right? I mean, if Bruce Thornton is doing all these things and is assisting and getting rebounds, but at the end of the day, you're like, well, Bruce Thornton is still the star of the team. Like Ohio State, listen, John Mobley Jr. can have a great game. Devin Royal can have a great game. Ohio State is going to go as far as they want to in the NCAA tournament, and it is going to be dependent on what Bruce Thornton does offensively for this team. Like, first and foremost, that is the most important thing. And I think we've taken it for granted all year long, what he's done. But again, today, I mean, you look at Bruce, 7 for 15. All right. He had 22 points. He hit all of his free throws. And like, it's just, if he's going, then Ohio State's going to go. And the same thing for Yaxel Lindenborg is that if he's not going, then all of a sudden maybe they're going to get upset, which is a big reason why Ohio State was in the game today. Yeah,
they're beatable. Will they lose necessarily? Well, we saw today they can get by because they have plenty of talent, plenty of size in that team. By the way, IU Indy scored 100 points 2 other times.
Yeah, I just looked both of you guys are just looking at it.
Reimer, I have a question for you.
Okay.
When you think about a lower seeded team making a run in the NCAA tournament, what are the ingredients to
I already know. I know what his answer is going to be. I know it. Here, Reimer, say like a couple of words. All right, I'm going to tell Pat off the air. We're going to turn our microphones off. I want you to just fill with random words for like 2 seconds. All right, here we go. Ready? Okay. All right. This is what I said it to Pat. Go ahead.
Well, one, you need really good guards.
There it is. Hey, nailed it.
Yes. Check the box there with Bruce Thornton and John Mobley Jr. And you need to have shooting. You see all the time teams that pull off a Cinderella type. This one, I mean, not a Cinderella type run, but create chaos and have upsets. Yes, exactly. Max Asmus, have a guy that can just get hot at any time. Jack Golke. I mean, just guys that can just get hot.
What names, by the way? Just
Who was the guy for St. Peter's a couple of years
Doug Eater.
ago? Yeah, him.
Of course.
Just random dudes,
of course,
man.
Doug Eater.
But you need good guards that you can turn to in a time of need, that you can rely on and take care of the ball and make a big shot. And Bruce Thornton and John Mobley Jr. are that, and just guys that you can spread the floor and make big plays with.
Yeah, and I think you're starting, the emergence of Amari Bynum, and we saw his dunks and like movement against Iowa.
Michigan is a tough matchup for him.
Yeah, but even today, I mean, he was getting to the glass. He was doing things, right? I think we mentioned Tayson Chapman earlier. Like, Christoph Tilley, I think, has played better. Again, tough matchup today.
For him.
But, like, he's going to cause some teams problems in the tournament unless you run against another 7-3, defensive player in the Big Ten, defensive player of the year in the Big Ten type of guy.
Looking at you, Arizona.
Yeah, so I don't know. Like, I'm not saying this team's going to go on some epic run, but I think they're hot, Reimer, I think that's another thing, right? Team that's playing well
Absolutely.
This time of year. And, I know... Look, to win a national championship, I think every national champion has been to the semifinal of their conference tournament. So maybe we're talking a little bit too far ahead if we're talking national champion. But if Jake Diebler in his first time in the tournament can get these guys to the second weekend, man, that's a pretty big deal.
We'll have some Beers and Buckeyes with Patrick Murphy coming up next. But instead of Patrick Murphy, because you're actually in tonight, Pat, we will check in with our good friend Austin Ward here in 2 minutes. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
Bacon, sausage, egg, cheese, made from scratch biscuits, fresh baked croissants, cinnamon swirl French toast. Hungry? Grab a hot UDF breakfast sandwich made in store for your morning. UDF, mornings made for you.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, hiya, Phantom.
Mike, you may be in big trouble with Chip Wood.
Our owner?
Free oil changes along with alignment?
On any 4-tire purchase.
And Goodyear's up to $160 off?
Yeah.
Sorry, Mike, but I'm telling.
But the Wood family is behind all this.
Oh, those rascals.
But don't tell the accountants.
Of course not. And what do they do again?
Buy any set of 4 tires at Tire Discounters and get a free alignment and oil change. Make them Goodyear's and save up to $160 more. See store for details.
The open season Sportsman's Expo hits March 20th through 22nd at the Ohio Expo Center. See Twiggy the water skiing squirrel. Shop hundreds of exhibitors and much more with Toyota the official truck and Tacticam the official cell camera. Get discounted tickets now at openseasonsportsmansexpo.com.
Life is more fun with a pal. So is pizza. So check out Donato's $5 Pizza Pals menu. Order any large pizza and add your choice of a sub, salad, wings, dessert, and more for just $5 each. Order your favorite $5 Pizza Pals from Donatos.com today. More toppings, more flavor, more fun. Donatos. Gotta love more.
From the first whistle to the final play, being a Buckeye fan calls for commitment and support. Nature Made vitamins are your winning play. from the #1 pharmacist recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Nature Made is made to care for fans on game day and every day, so you can go all in on big wins, tough losses, and still show up for your team every time. Nature Made, proud vitamin and supplement sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
The Buckeye Show is sponsored by CareSource, proud to be your home for Ohio State Athletics. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Drink up, Slappy. It's time for Beers and Buckeyes with Patrick Murphy.
Patrick Murphy is hanging out in studio with me tonight. So right now we head out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline and have Beers and Buckeyes with our great friend. He is of Letterman Row and also 97.1 The Fan and 10 TV and 10 TV Plus. He is Austin Ward, A-Ward Sports. Happy Friday to you. How's Drama Club going tonight, all right?
Drama was fantastic, and now the pizza and beverages at Getaway Brewing in downtown Dublin are even better.
We had pizza in here. There was pizza when I walked in, but no beverages yet. So maybe they'll send some of those our way.
I can't really confirm or deny if they have barley or hops in them, because I'm not supposed to do that on the radio, and you guys can't do that till 8 o'clock either.
Yeah, that is correct, Austin. You are factually correct in stating that. We had Carp in studio with us, Austin, to open up the show. And, Bob basically, he lives in the Woody during the offseason. And if it's hard for him to identify the new players on Ohio State's roster when they get in pads and in helmets, I can't imagine how hard it is for everybody else trying to keep track of players, and that's coaches included.
Yeah, it's been overwhelming, Beamer, and probably to a lesser extent for the actual coaching staff, or at least Ryan Day is saying that he's resisting the urge to be looking down and trying to check that. These guys have relationships. They've had 2 months of workouts and obviously went through the transfer portal or the recruiting process with everyone on that roster. But, as Murph can attest, we got in there on Tuesday and Thursday of this week, and there were just every time somebody made a play, you look down and you think, is that someone I know? Is that someone I don't know? I'm going to have to check the roster, because even someone like Kenyatta Jackson was talking yesterday about changing from 97 to 2, a number that he's wanted for a long time, and was occupied by Caleb Downs for the last couple of years, and also some other pretty good number 2s over the previous years before that. But even when you see him, it's like you're doing a double take and confirming, is that the number that he changed to or not? And so it's been tough to manage all of that. We've been getting a number of people, not just in the chat on the Buckeye Show or at Letterman Row, or as Murph can attest at Bucknuts, people are like, well, why aren't you talking about this player or that player? Did you notice this or that? It's been tough to cover every new face that's been in there, because there's 51 of them, and I only have the bandwidth to talk about so many at one time.
Yeah, no doubt about that. I feel like we've almost ignored a lot of the returning guys who deserve to be talked about. Of those new guys, though, let's stick on that. Is there anyone or any ones who have stood out to you? I know it's only 2 days and they're not in pads, but anybody jump off the field for you?
Yeah, I'm gonna try and focus on the ones where they don't require the pads quite as much. Although if you're playing football, that physicality is always going to be required, Murph. But we can see someone like Devin McEwen or Kyle Parker, run routes, catch the football, show the strength of their hands, then the athleticism, whether that's the high end speed, agility, potential to make guys miss. And I think both of those transfer portal receivers have that in spades. So I think that, watching Devin McEwen particularly and seeing him out there, again, rotation is subject to change, and we know that it will over the next 13 practices. But on day one, in that first, lining up and getting into a teach period, a formational period, Devin McEwen was out there with Brandon Ennis and Jeremiah Smith. And, that doesn't guarantee him anything, but it's a pretty good starting point to be at. So that caught my attention on day one. He's done nothing in any of the workouts that we've seen over 2 hours in the first 2 days to dissuade me from thinking that he's going to have a really high ceiling and a chance to bring something a little bit different and dynamic to the Ohio State offense. And Kyle Parker, he's coming from an SEC program. He's got a built-in relationship with Cortez Hankton. I thought he was a little bit stronger in the upper body than I was anticipating. So I looked on day one at those wide receivers and how they might fit in here, because it's the first time that really that group has been in a state of flux, and Brian Hartline never used the transfer portal at wide receiver, so that's something new. Then defensively, I was telling Beamer last night about being so intimidated by James Smith and just the way he practices. I think that must be translating with the coaching staff as well, because he's already been added to the media schedule for, I believe, that first week back after spring break. That's not very common, even in the old regime when we had position groups, to be singled out for a chance to go, talk to us. I think maybe it's that Thursday after we get back from spring break. That also stands out as like a tea leaf reading moment. He's got a lot of aggression in him. I'm curious what a press conference is going to be like with him.
Here's Austin Ward here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Austin, it wouldn't be a day that ends in Y, and I talk to you without me asking you this. What's the biggest thing burning in your brain about the Buckeyes right now, buddy?
Yeah, kind of just
Disneyland?
Well, no. If they want to come, I hope I see some of them out there. I think that's a great way to use spring break. I highly recommend it. But it's a little bit of what you're saying. You have a week off coming off the acclimation period. How many guys want to stay around and keep working out? It's a different era where they have some money to spend and go do some of the finer, fancier things in life. I think Bob has talked about this a lot, that the opportunities that were afforded to those guys 20 years ago are very different than what some of these current players have now. But even if you do get away, which maybe they needed on the back end of winter workouts in these first two practices, that would be totally fine. But when we get back in the Woody, when they get back in the Woody on that Tuesday after spring break and the pads start coming on, then we start to find out what's real, what's not real, who's going to separate in the trenches. Because this week there's really, we've talked about the offensive line showing up on day one, and it was the same quote-unquote starting group that was out there against Miami in the first half of the Cotton Bowl. Well, Ian Moore could make a move. Carter Lowe could make a move. Gabe Van Sickle's got things to prove, but you can't really evaluate those offensive linemen or the defensive linemen, even though I talked about James Smith at defensive tackle, until they really start hitting, until things get real up front. And so we won't see a ton of that throughout spring. I'm not sure how many more open viewing periods there will actually be. Traditionally, there's been a student appreciation day scrimmage that we get a really good look at. And obviously we have the spring game and the coaches clinic at the end of it. But that's when I think there will be a lot more intrigue, potential movement for the starting groups really on both sides of the line of scrimmage. And I am thinking about that a lot because, we know that the last two games didn't meet the standard on the offensive line, and really they didn't get as much pressure as they wanted to either. So as they're looking at going back to trying to win a national championship next year, it has to be determined up front.
We got to talk to Julian this week. We also talked to Ryan Day about Julian. What did you make of some of the talk about areas he can improve? And I know a lot of people's ears perked up when Ryan brought up using his legs more.
Yeah, I think that it's not a secret to anyone in the building, and that includes Julian Sayin, obviously, that he's going to need to help his offensive line out. All the things that I said about those guys on that side of the football having some inconsistencies and breakdowns against Indiana and Miami. The most interesting thing that Julian Sayin said was, when things are bad, great quarterbacks have to be able to still thrive. That's when they prove it. And he didn't do that, to put it bluntly, against Indiana and Miami. Whether that's using your legs to extend plays to make a pass or whether that's taking open space in front of you to run, no matter what offensive line you have in front of you, there's going to be at least 5 or 6 or 10 plays where the protection is not going to be as flawless as you want it to be. And that's going to be on Julian Sayin, I think, to take the next step of not just understanding what is asked of him in a play, but also what defenses are doing and what the safety valve would be to whether that's extending a play or just avoiding a bad one. And he could have done a better job of that by his own admission, but I think that we all saw that as well. That it was a reminder that he was a first-year starting quarterback. So some of the the growth and development and evolution for him is not going to be just physically. It is also going to be, mentally. It's going to be using those legs, and it's going to be leadership as well. And I know you and I both heard the last few words that Julian Sand had to offer to the rest of the Buckeyes in that pre-practice huddle. And they were salty. And then we were in his press conference as well, and we heard him acknowledge that that's got to be a part of his game moving forward. And, Ryan Day's not had a ton of years with a second-year starting quarterback. Really interested to see what that looks like as Julian Sand continues to grow, because between March and the opener against Texas last year, I would argue that nobody made bigger progress in all those areas than he did.
Austin, before we get you out of here, I know you were texting Reimer about the hoops game today. Just your thoughts on Ohio State's performance against Michigan.
I think if you gave Jake Siebler truth serum or strapped him up to a lie detector, he would say today was about the perfect outcome. And I know that will sound crazy and sacrilegious because they were playing Michigan and it's a rivalry, and anytime you play against that team, you want to win. But I don't think Ohio State really needed another win as much as they might benefit from the rest. But it wasn't like they just showed up and let Michigan run away with it. They played a competitive game. They acquitted themselves very well. They also got some contributions that I'm sure Reimer has mentioned from unexpected places off the bench.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there'll be a lot of confidence that this team can carry over. No, they did not win, but they went down to the wire with a number one seed. They are probably we know that they're safely in the tournament, but their seed line is probably not likely to change based on anything else that's going on. So it's a loss that you can, I think, feel good about, even though it was against your rival. And let Bruce Thornton sit on the couch for a couple days and get ready for his showcase in March Madness, because he deserves it. And he's going to be playing every single minute once the Buckeyes get there.
Buddy, always appreciate the time. Thanks for hopping on. Enjoy your happy hour this evening. Have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you again on Monday, all right?
Thanks, guys. See ya.
There he goes. Ka-chow. Austin Ward here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. You guys were just talking about Ryan Day and his press availability earlier in the week. We're going to hear from the head ball coach coming up next. It's the Buckeye Show on the Fan.
Wake up with the Fan. Eat lunch with the Fan. Go to bed with the Fan. Dream about the Fan. Then change your sheets. Gross.
Ew, you guys are gross, but stick around in case I don't find anyone else.
The Fan.
Recalculating route. Estimated arrival time. Never.
For people with nasal congestion, snoring, or sleep apnea, finding a solution feels like a never-ending road trip.
First stop, my primary doctor. Then the pharmacy. Then a sleep specialist. Then an ENT.
What if there was just one destination for all your problems?
Welcome to Advent, your one-stop solution for nasal congestion, snoring, and sleep apnea for over 20 years. Unlike many other practices, we focus exclusively on these conditions, so you get comprehensive care in one location. Over 95% of patients with severe nasal breathing issues report improvement. Plus, most insurance is accepted for our effective 20-minute in-office treatments.
You have arrived at Clear Breathing.
5 seconds to Sharp, top of the key, lost the dribble. He's got to pick it up. It's scooped up by Condon. Condon secures it, and Florida found a way. From 12 down to the school's third national championship in men's basketball.
It was an epic come-from-behind win for the Florida Gators in last year's men's title game. Find out who will claim this year's titles with Westwood One's exclusive coverage of the NCAA men's and women's tournaments right here.
O'Reilly. Check engine, ABS, or maintenance light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. The service is free and provides a report with solutions verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we could recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. What's the best way to make sure you don't miss any of your favorite fan shows? I don't know. Download the Fan app, silly.
Ah, damn it, I knew that.
App Store, Google Play, or just scream right at your phone. Psst, you can also listen to Buckeye games. Do it now.
Buckeye Nation, join us on April 12th at the 2026 Ohio State 4-Miler, presented by Union Home Mortgage, the Ohio Beef Council, and Raising Cane's. This is your chance to run down a tunnel and finish on the 50-yard line at Ohio Stadium. You can also get access to the home locker room and meet some of your favorite Buckeye student athletes. A portion of the proceeds benefit the Buckeye Cruise for Cancer. This is something you won't want to miss. Register today at ohiostateformiler.com. Go Bucks!
Attention Columbus. Town Properties just clinched the title of the largest residential property manager in Columbus, thanks to the Columbus Business Journal. With pride, we oversee 25,000 plus households in the Columbus metro area, ensuring fantastic places to call home. Whether you're on the hunt for an exceptional living space, a top-notch association management company, or a property manager for your multifamily portfolio, visit our website at town.properties.com and let us elevate your living experience. Town Properties, always managing great places to live.
Paul Keels here, voice of the Ohio State Buckeyes. You have to check out the brand new AAA Buckeyes MVP membership. Get all the benefits of AAA, such as 24/7 roadside assistance, plus chances to win tickets to Buckeye sporting events, access to exclusive MVP experiences, along with 10% off gear at the Ohio State team shop. Already a AAA member? Add the Buckeye MVP membership upgrade for free. Head to AAA.com/Buckeyes to join the squad and put your fandom in drive.
Hello, I'm Ross Bjork, Senior Vice President and Eugene Smith Wolf Foundation Endowed Athletics Director at The Ohio State University. In partnership with AEP, Donato's, Kroger, The Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center, Huntington, and 10 TV, Ohio State Athletics strives to inspire the community to make a positive impact on children and families in our great state through the Buckeyes Care Initiative. Show and share your support in the community by using the hashtag BuckeyesCare.
The Fan Poll is sponsored by JT's Pizza and Pub, home of award-winning pizza and 32-ounce Yingling drafts for only $4. The only radio show that bleeds scarlet and gray. This is the Buckeye Show.
Now, my guy Patrick Murphy at Bucknuts with us here this evening. Selection Sunday, it's almost here. 48 hours away. We'll know where Ohio State's going to be slotted at in the NCAA Tournament. You can download the free 10 TV Plus app now and tune in on Sunday at 5:45 p.m. as Adam King, Nicole Sheeran, and guests will be breaking down the bracket.
Do you happen to know any of those guests?
I do.
Is that public information?
I do know some of the guests as each region gets revealed. Chasing the Championship is sponsored by Logan Services, a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. I think we do know the guests that are going to be on there. One of them is going to be our great producer, Jacob Reimer. The other one, unfortunately for everybody out there who wants to watch, is going to be me.
What happens if life gets in the way?
Yeah, life might get in the way. It's a little bit of a dicey update today from the doctor's office. Yeah. So I have told Television's Adam King, since he broke the news to me about 3 weeks ago, Reimer, yes. We were over there doing TV with him. He was like, yep, we're going to be here Selection Sunday for you. Reimer's going to be here. Brandon's going to be here. And I was like, I am? That's news to me. I had no clue that I was doing this thing. Just fine. You know, it's Selection Sunday. It's going to be cool. At that time, it looked a little bit dicey whether Ohio State was going to make the NCAA tournament or not. But yeah, I told him, I was like, unless Meredith is in active labor or on the way there, I will be there on Sunday. Who knows what's going to happen, Reimer? Who in the world knows if we're going to be there or not?
It's all right. I've watched enough mid-major basketball to where I can give out that information.
I don't even know why I need to be there. With your brain, I'm like, it doesn't matter to me. I'm not going to give you anything that Reimer is not. Pat, you were at the Woody a couple of times here this week. One, on Thursday, you got to talk to Julian Sand and Kenyatta Jackson. Tuesday, you had the chance to talk to the head ball coach, Ryan Day. Just your thoughts in general on what Ryan had to say, and did anything pop off the page to you necessarily of getting to watch 2 days of practice over at the Woody?
Yeah, I echo what Bobby said off the top, just the sheer number of new guys. And it's trying to identify them, but it's not easy to do because I do think they all fit, right? Like, at least just watching them, again, not in full pads or anything, but it's not like these guys are out of place. Obviously they're going through this for the first time, but we were talking about James Smith earlier. Austin mentioned him being part of the media schedule. I thought he looked the part of a guy that could play in the interior of the defensive line. Christian Allegro really popped off. He made a couple nice plays on that first day of practice.
Where are you expecting him to be at by the time the season rolls around? Like on the edge or in that backer room?
Allegro?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he'll be a linebacker.
Okay.
I think it would not surprise me if it's him and Peyton Pierce, and then you've got whoever wins, probably Riley Pettijohn, but him being out for spring kind of affects some things.
TJ Alford's right there, too.
You're right. Garrett Stover. Whoever wins that, I think, is that third linebacker, which is a really important role. Like, it's not like you obviously want to start, but look at what we've seen of those guys the last couple of years.
Arvell Reese a couple of years ago. You saw, obviously, Peyton Pierce play a huge role in Ohio State's defense last year.
Yeah, so... look, they went and got a veteran guy, and I don't think it was because they didn't believe in Riley Pettijohn. I think they've seen, like, hey, if we can have a guy who's played multiple years, have a guy who's stepping into that role, and then have a younger guy who's sort of working his way into a bigger role, that's a pretty good recipe for success with this linebacker room. And you didn't have that because you lost both starters. So going and getting a guy who, A, has played in the Big Ten, played well, and B, is coached by a guy that a lot of people in that building know pretty well and know what he can do defensively with Luke Fickell. I think that's a really smart idea to find a guy like that. And I know James Laurinaitis is pretty excited about him. Bobby mentioned the receivers. Austin was talking about them as well. I think it's going to be interesting. They don't have that clear outside receiver outside of Jeremiah Smith, right? There's not that guy like a Carnell Tate or Marv or something.
Emeka Egbuka, right?
And even he was like a little bit under, he was a slot guy who could play outside, like Garrett Wilson. And that's what I think they'll work with here. But let's not forget about some of these young guys in the receiver room too. Phillip Bell, DZ Jones, like those guys, I think, have an opportunity here. Not just because you brought in new guys from the transfer portal means they're definitely going to start, right? There's a lot of openings in this receiver room, and guys need to make plays.
All right, so one of the guys who is catching headlines throughout the first week of spring ball, and even in winter workouts, Pat, we started to hear his name be circulated. Bobby mentioned him at the very top of the program. Legend Bay. Everyone was excited because you got a numerous amount of running backs in this room. Isaiah West, Bo Jackson, both out here in spring ball. So, you're going to see some more reps for some of these younger guys. Turbo Rogers, his name has been thrown around as well. Ryan Day talking about Legend Bay, and I know that this one kind of got everyone excited on Tuesday when the coach was talking.
We'll have to see. Just day one out there, he started running back. He played quarterback in high school, so he has a tremendous skill set, and he's dynamic when the ball's in his hands. We see him as somebody that can play running back and also move out to wide receiver. Sort of like, I wasn't here with Curtis Samuel, but I watched a lot of film when he was here. He kind of reminds me of that style of player. Remember when Xavier Johnson was here, he could play running back or move out to wide receiver. I think we're trying to get a feel for that now because really he played a lot of quarterback in high school, so we're trying to see what best fits him when he gets moving. So today was just a start. You can see him flash, but he's got a lot of football to learn. But it was good to get these guys out here, 51 new faces, so we got a lot of film to watch and get to work on.
Inherently, when you're coming in for a freshman season, Pat, it's always going to be, kind of a grace period. Now, the D recruitment starts as soon as you step foot onto Ohio State and you get in the Woody with Mickey Marotti and Anthony Schlegel and the strength staff over at Ohio State. Then your position coaches. Austin said this earlier in the week, and I don't know if you caught it when you were over there. He was talking about how hard Legend Bay was being coached by Carlos Loughlin. And I know that Coach Locke coaches his guys hard regardless. He talks about the amount of dudes that they have in his room, even going back to fall camp last year. He's like, we got 7 or 8 guys, that we would consider starting here at running back.
Turns out they didn't.
Well, they didn't do that, but they churned through a lot of them to finally land on Bo Jackson. Where we were talking about last year, it was James Peoples and C.J. Donaldson at this very point, and then you got to the middle of the season, and the running back room was kind of shaken up. But Carlos Loughlin coaching Legend Bay very hard, and I think if there's one true freshman that Ohio State fans are looking at for a potential, it's good news that he's going to get a lot of reps here in spring ball with his first go-round with the Buckeyes.
Yes, I think it's him and Chris Henry are the two, right, that are going to generate a lot of buzz as we head into it. And it's interesting, both had a little bit of drama on signing day or beyond signing day.
Legend had a lot of drama.
Yeah.
Chris Henry, also had some drama, but it was of a different kind.
Yes.
That was just mysterious. You didn't know what he was going to do.
Right. So, two guys they're very glad to have in the program. I think Chris Henry, Bobby was talking about his size. Like, he is skinny, but he doesn't look out of place on that field. Like, yeah, fine, he's a freshman, but it's not like, oh, man, that guy has a ways to go. Mm-hmm. Now, I say that, and I also caution people, not everyone is Jeremiah Smith. Most talented 5-star wide receivers are going to be more like Marvin Harrison and Garrett Wilson and guys like that maybe it takes part of their freshman year to get going. But as I just said a few minutes ago, you're going to need an outside guy, and Chris Henry certainly has that, at least in body type. And then you talk about Legend Bay. We saw him on Thursday when we were out there already working with some receivers. So, have you seen enough at running back to be like, okay, we're comfortable letting you start to move around a little bit? I think that's a positive. But I do think it's going to take him some time, as Ryan Day mentioned. Like, this is a guy who played quarterback in high school. So, like, learning running back, learning wide receiver, trying to live up to the Curtis Samuel comparison, which...
It's a big comparison, man.
It is. And it was like Curtis Samuel was one of those series of guys that we kept talking about under Urban Meyer being in that Percy Harvin role, right? Mm-hmm. And he was probably the one that came the closest. Now, Percy Harvin was a different animal. But, like, now you're being compared to Curtis Samuel, guy who scored a game-winning touchdown against Michigan and was, a high draft pick and things like that. So, I think it's, you don't want to put too much on these guys right now. But, I mean, Ryan Day on his radio show back in late January called him, he compared him to Tyreek Hill. Yeah. So he's not afraid to drop some of these on a guy like that, which I think shows you the confidence they have in a young player.
The world's largest TV could be up for sale in the Heartland. We'll get into that in the Pulse coming up next. It's the Buckeye Show on the Fan.
The two most mature people working at the radio station. And that's just because they wear pants.
The pervert and the skivvies.
Rothman and Ice.
Weekdays at noon.
The Fan.
The nightmare of the cleared drain. Those drain clearing specials from the other guys seem like a great deal until you realize the only thing really going down your drain is your money. At the Waterworks, we mean clean. Our service doesn't just clear your drains, it cleans them too. It's done right the first time, so that nightmare of a drain becomes a dream come true. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call 614-232-2222 to get started.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, hiya, Phantom.
Mike, you may be in big trouble with Chip Wood.
Our owner?
Free oil changes along with alignment?
On any 4-tire purchase.
And Goodyear's up to $160 off?
Yeah.
Sorry, Mike, but I'm telling.
But the Wood family is behind all this.
Oh, those rascals.
But don't tell the accountants.
Of course not. And what do they do again?
Buy any set of 4 tires at Tire Discounters and get a free alignment and oil change. Make them Goodyears and save up to $160 more. See store for details.
Are you ready to take your business to the next level? Introducing Optimized IT, the managed services division of Modern Office Methods. With our cutting-edge managed IT services, we bring proven management strategies to the table to support your current IT team. That's not all. Our experienced team provides insight on how to maximize efficiency, helping you achieve your goals faster. Concerned about security? Our backup solutions help guarantee your data is protected around the clock, giving you peace of mind. Start at OptimizedIT.net for your free IT assessment. Stay ahead, stay secure, and stay up.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium presented by Experience Columbus. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium tours offer a variety of options and pricing. For more information, visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com and book your tour. Ohio Stadium Tours, presented by Experience Columbus.
Enjoy more ways to save at Kroger, like low prices in every aisle. And when you download the Kroger app, you can clip and save more with digital coupons every week. Plus, you can earn fuel points to save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. At Kroger, you can enjoy more ways to save and more rewards every time you shop. So it's always easy to save big every day with savings and rewards. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Savings may vary by state. Fuel restrictions apply. See site for details.
Already prepping for next week's matchup? Get your best rest yet with Bob's Discount Furniture. Shop Bob's and choose from Pillow Soft, plush, dual feel, and extra firm mattresses with Bobopedic memory foam that will have you dreaming of game day in no time. So shop in-store or online to score the latest and affordable luxury mattresses without the luxury price tag. Bob's Discount Furniture, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios. Driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good evening, I'm Jacob Reimer. Quarterfinal action at the Big Ten Tournament today in Chicago after beating Iowa yesterday. Earlier today, Ohio State fell to top-seeded Michigan 71-67. Bruce Thornton led the way with 22 points. Devin Royal followed with 13, and John Moby Jr. added 12 points. The Buckeyes will now wait to hear their name called on Selection Sunday for the first time in 4 years. Michigan's wins puts them in the semis, where they will meet Wisconsin tomorrow. Live right now, Purdue leads Nebraska 28-22. Michigan State takes on UCLA 30 minutes after the conclusion there. College hoops around the state. Dayton advanced to the A-10 semifinals after their 68-63 win over St. Bonaventure. And here at 7:30, Akron takes on Kent State in the MAC semis. This update is sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or visit online at sleepbettercolumbus.com. Stop snoring, sleep better, live better. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Time for the College Football Pulse on the Buckeye Show.
Sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Hour number 2 for us here on this windy Friday evening. Tell you what I've done the last couple of days. It's been really nice. After the games, because Reimer and I have been in here. Reimer, what time did you get in here today? 10 o'clock?
Yeah, 10 o'clock.
Yeah, I got in a little bit later. I mean, 10:30 yesterday and today. You know, we got our duties. We got the warm-up show. You're hanging out all day running the board for Paul, Skip, and Ron for the network broadcast of Ohio State basketball, and then we're on to do post-game. So, I mean, we're here all day. You know, we're here all day, which is fine. But yesterday and today, Pat, what I've done, what I did after today's game and yesterday's game, I'm listening to Dune, the audiobook on Audible. So
is this before the third movie comes out? You want to get
I want to see what's going on in Frank Herbert's world.
Okay.
You know, I want to see what's kind of going on in that whole landscape. So I went out to the car and I called my lovely wife Meredith, see what was going on after her doctor's appointment, and had some news and kind of sharing how everything is going at school for William and just kind of catching up on things. And I've taken like a 25-minute cat nap in my car the last couple of days. Had to get a little reset in for the mid-afternoon to get enough juice and pop to finish off the week strong here this evening.
That's a choice.
Well, what else am I supposed to do? Watch basketball in here with Reimer? I don't want to do that.
I guess you could do that. There's
What's wrong with that? Nothing. But you're watching so many different random games where I'm like, I don't know what's going on here. I don't need to be watching these things. I'll follow along in my phone if I need to.
There's not a place to lay down in here. You don't have a.
I think there's a cot in a bedroom somewhere in here for when we have severe weather events, because our meteorologists at 10 TV, they never leave the TV station when that happens. So I'm sure there is somewhere. But yeah, I just figured, I'm like, let's just go take a little nap in the car. It's fine. I'll listen to the book. I'll crash out for a little bit. It's fine. I'll wake up rested and rejuvenated. I did that the last couple of days. Feel great.
I'll tell you off air what I'm reading, because I'm not sharing it with everyone.
How are you listening to the book if you're sleeping through it?
Well, I'm not. I mean, what are you talking about? I'm listening to it while drifting in and out.
So
I do that.
So then it's going to play as you are asleep.
Yes, that is correct. And then if you miss anything important, you just go back to where you fell asleep at.
How do you know if you missed something important?
You just don't. You don't. Have no clue. That's why you watch the movie first before you read the books.
I listen to the Office Ladies podcast to fall asleep. Mm-hmm. Great podcast, by the way, for Office fans.
I've never listened to it. Is it good?
It's good. It's really good.
Okay. I'll have to give it a listen. I am a big Office fan.
St. Louis's own Jenna Fisher.
That is correct. You are right about that. St. Louis, a big comeback win today as well, not in the NCAA tournament, but in their conference tournament. We had that on.
Shout out Josh Schertz. He got extended today, too.
Yeah, I saw that. $20 million contract extension, I think, for 5 years. Robbie Avila, they're going to be playing in March Madness Selection Sunday.
If anybody could build the next Gonzaga, it's him at St. Louis.
Ooh, I love that. That's a nice little hot take. Reimer, what do you have for us tonight? I know that this is not football news, but I think it's inherently funny news.
So the Big 12 tournament's going on. It got started last week with the women's. It's going on right now. The semis just got tipped off with Iowa State, Arizona. Going to be an awesome game for sure there.
Should be. Arizona kicked Iowa State's butt a couple of weeks ago.
I know. I think it's
you had to eat the hot wing because of that one.
That's true. They like to say that Kansas City is Hilton Coliseum South for Iowa State. So we'll see how this goes. They're up 6-0 already. But anyways, what's going on at the Big 12 tournament is they had a glass LED court. Mm-hmm. And
state of the art. Like, they were really touting this thing.
Yeah, and like it was kind of cool. Like during timeouts and stuff, you'd see like video, like replay and stuff like that. Of
the
stuff
way that they
going
chose
on.
the color of the court, though, why
Yeah.
they chose it to be that slate gray, I will never understand.
I don't either. It was not pretty. But for the semis, they are getting rid of the glass LED court, and they are going to actual hardwood because the commissioner, Brett Yormark, he met with the 4 coaches of the teams that are in the semifinals, and he says after consultation with the coaches of our 4 semifinals teams, I have decided that in order to provide our student athletes with the greatest level of comfort on a huge stage this weekend, we will transition to a hardwood court for the remainder of the tournament. We look forward to a great semifinals and championship game. This coming from many remarks from players that they're constantly slipping. Christian Anderson, point guard for Texas Tech, he had a slight groin injury, and he is a key piece for them. So definitely don't want to see anything long-term there for him. I think he's going to be fine, but it's very interesting how it got a lot of heat on social media, and now they're back to the hardwood for the semifinals and championship game.
Rest in peace, gone too soon.
Yeah.
March 10th through March 12th is the lifespan of the...
They used it for the women's tournament.
Of the LED glass floor. But
March
like
4th.
There's a reason why basketball courts are made of hardwood. And there's a reason why most conferences in NBA and WNBA and high schools and gyms across all of America and across all of the world use composite and or hardwood flooring, and it's because it works. And so while the idea on paper or on LED was a good one for the Big 12, and they wanted to try to be intuitive and kind of on the edge of the technology, it just did not work out. I did see someone on social media say 1,128-inch TV for sale, serious inquiries only, call for pricing, which was very good. It was cool, but yeah, I mean, you're talking about, this thing being played on so many times, and, if there becomes a dent in it, then it becomes just, you can't play on it. So I understand the coaches that remain in the Big 12, them saying, listen, if we still have the opportunity to switch to a hardwood court, we need to do it. So kind of burnt up in their faces a little bit for the Big 12.
Yeah, odd to see something like that change mid tournament. I think even in the women's tournament, didn't they stop changing it like mid play and things like that?
I think so, yes.
Yeah, so
it's just too much.
It's an interesting idea in theory. It did not work out the way that I think they hoped, which is unfortunate. But yeah, you're right. There's a reason they make basketball courts the way they have for years and years and years.
Reimer, what else you got?
Well, the court design now, like that they transitioned to, still really isn't all that great. It kind of just looks like a bunch of like Louis Vuitton logos.
Wasn't the idea that you could simulate?
It's on ESPN.
Wasn't that you could simulate the courts of the team that were playing? Wasn't that the idea?
They didn't
I think
do
so.
it. They didn't do any of that.
They did it before the games, I think, when they were announcing the starting lineups, and like they would put out like that team's like court.
Okay.
But I don't know. It's still weird. I think the most stunning thing is that Darren Peterson had a great game on it last night, and he played the full time.
Wow, that's the most shocking part of the whole thing.
He is great on LED courts.
Yes. I think whoever drafts him in the NBA draft, you need to install LED court at your home facility.
Or it's got to be the net so he can play on that gray court that they've got.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. He's going to go to the Nets.
That's true.
Yeah, the court now doesn't look great. You're right. There's a lot. There's too much going on there as well. It's just bad. It's bad. It's a bad floor choice of color.
Could you go back? I'm kind of sick looking at it.
Yeah, it doesn't look. I got to go back to the ACC.
I think it's actually just a bunch of like Roman numeral 12s.
Yeah,
as the.
It's too much. There's too much going on there. I don't like it. Iowa State's kicking butt too. Early on in that game.
Yeah, there we go.
All right, what else you got for us?
Some more basketball news. This locally, Cincinnati, they parted ways with their head coach Wes Miller after they kind of made a little run to kind of build some excitement, had some key wins, maybe getting into the NCAA tournament. But after 5 seasons with the Bearcats, he went 174. 41 and 51 in conference play and didn't make the NCAA tournament in that span. So tough to see there for Cincinnati, now looking for a new coach.
Yeah, I thought that he was going to get it back, right? I mean, Cincinnati at the very beginning of the year, they were okay. Middle of the year, they went on the slide, and then they were kind of coming out the other side of it. They became one of the hottest teams in America. Unfortunately for them, they lost their first go-round in the Big 12 tournament. So I know there had been a lot of smoke around Wes Miller. Cincinnati fans not necessarily happy with him. And unfortunately, he falls on the axe. How do you guys, where do you rate the Cincinnati job? Because I think when you look at Cincinnati, proud, historic basketball program, right? It's a tough conference that you're playing in the Big 12, man. Like, I don't think it's that hard to recruit to Cincinnati to play basketball, but you realize the conference you're in, like it's an uphill battle every year. But how do you guys kind of rank the Cincinnati job opening on the grand scheme of things? Because in the Big 12, that's a power conference. I would say it's a pretty good job, but it's also tough.
I think it's definitely like up there towards the top, especially for what's going to be available. It's going to be one of the top job openings for sure. They've had some high seeds in the NCAA tournament. They've had some really good teams, and you're a part of one of the best rivalries in college basketball at the Crosstown Shootout with Xavier. It's like there's a lot there that can really, and to where you can compete in the Big 12. Like
passionate fan base.
Absolutely. And like you're competing against Kansas, you're competing against Houston, Arizona, Iowa State. Like it's definitely tough, but like I feel like that's still like a really fun part about that job is you're going to be in some high level, notable nationally televised basketball games. So I feel like it should be pretty high.
Yeah, I agree. I think, especially being in the Big 12 now, but even before, like that's a program that I think you think basketball when you talk about Cincinnati, right?
Yeah.
It's not bit, they haven't, other than that one run to the College World Playoff with Luke Fickell, like they haven't really been in the football conversation. So
pretty good with Brian Kelly before he left for Notre Dame.
Yeah, that's true. But still, I think of it more as a basketball school. I have a buddy who's a big Cincinnati fan, and I think he would say the same, though he is also a Cincinnati football fan. So, yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see, maybe one of those hot sort of up-and-coming names that, it could end up there to sort of maybe not take the big leap yet, but take that sort of medium leap that then maybe takes you to another job, or maybe you get it going there and you really like what you got.
Reimer, shoot your shot right now. Who's taking that Cincinnati job?
I think it's going to be Jared Calhoun from Utah State.
Okay. You mean the team is that the team who just paid the fine?
No, that's Utah Valley.
Oh, okay.
That's Utah Valley. Yeah. But Utah State, I don't know what
the
happens.
Aggies. Utah State.
They just like rotate head coaches every year, it feels like, and they're always at the top of the Mountain West.
We're just talking about the Big 12 court. I just saw Tom Fornelli, who's from CBS Sports. He says, watching Arizona, Iowa State, and it's the Wolverine meme where he's looking at the photo and it's the old court, which I thought was pretty fun.
That is good. Love a good meme from time to time. Ohio State assistant basketball coach Joel Justus, he joined us today after the Buckeyes hoops game. You're going to hear that coming up next. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
Tweet from a listener. Are you carrying the Buckeye game today? Considering we've never not carried one, yes. The answer is yes. The Fan.
At the American Lung Association, we're fighting for a day when we can all breathe easier. We're fighting for clear skies over every city and healthy lungs throughout the country. We're fighting to free millions of Americans from the addictive grip of tobacco and the devastating effects of lung disease. The American Lung Association isn't just fighting for air, we're fighting for all the things that make it worth breathing, and we can use your help. See what you can do at fightingforair.org.
Veterans and active duty service members, when your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Inside the body, cancer divides. But inside the James, we unite. With nearly 300 cancer specialists, each focused on a single type of cancer, and over 1,500 researchers, relentlessly pursuing new discoveries and sparking new hope. So if you just heard the words, "you have cancer," you should know this. We heard them too. And there's no better team in the nation to create a cancer-free world. The James at Ohio State.
Everybody knows that Roosters is a fun, casual joint with their award-winning waitstaff, great food, fun, and laughter. It's a quick stop on the way home to sit back and unwind. It's a front row seat to the big game. Roosters is where you, your family, and friends can order pizzas, sandwiches, salads, and more. And the home of award-winning wings that are fresh, never frozen, and so big you won't believe it. It's your family's other dinner table. Roosters, a fun, casual joint, and the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Experience Buckeye Game Day like never before. Welcome to the 1922 Club, the most exclusive space inside Ohio Stadium, where luxury meets tradition in the heart of Buckeye Nation. Enjoy upscale food and beverages and a game day atmosphere like no other. Create lasting memories with friends and mingling with other Buckeye fans, and celebrate every OHIO in ultimate comfort. Become a member of the 1922 Club today. Memberships are limited. Visit OhioStateBuckeyes.com. This is Paul Keels for RV Wholesalers. Peace of mind. That's what you get when purchasing your next RV from RV Wholesalers. With every new RV purchase, Ohio residents receive the exclusive Buckeye Service Guarantee. If your RV is in the shop, RV Wholesalers will give you a free loaner. Also with a Buckeye Service Guarantee, you'll receive free delivery in the state of Ohio and 3-day RV exchange. That's the exclusive Buckeye Service Guarantee. Only at RV Wholesalers in Lakeview, Mansfield, Delaware, at RVW.com. RV Wholesalers, a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Catch all the buzzer beaters, upsets, bracket busters, and more at the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. It's the greatest month of the year.
Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
Hey, Ohio State fans. Next time that snack craving hits, Burger King has you covered with the O-Fry-O bundle. You get a medium fry, 8-piece chicken fries, 8-piece mozzarella fries, and an 8-piece chicken nuggets, all for just $10. It's perfect snack fuel for one, wherever and whenever you're cheering on the Scarlet and Gray. At BK, have it your way. You rule. Limited time only at participating Ohio area restaurants. BK is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Tax extra.
Hi, I'm Archie Griffin, 2-time Heisman Trophy winner. The right coverage can be a game changer, both on and off the field. That's why Encova Insurance is prepared for what's next and protects what matters most to you. With independent insurance agents in your neighborhood and innovative insurance products that can be tailored to fit your unique needs, Encova Insurance is an easy win for your peace of mind. For auto, home, and business insurance, you want Encova on your team. Visit Encova.com today to find an agent near you.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We are tracking those winds coming down as we head into tonight and for your Saturday. Winds are expected to be about 5 to 15 miles per hour, and we'll see a mix of clouds and sunshine, but it will be cooler with highs in the upper 40s to around 50. However, we are going to be warming back up into the low 70s here for Sunday. However, we will see mostly cloudy skies and breezy conditions, but we are tracking another cold front that's going to bring us some rain on Monday, followed by some much colder temperatures with highs only in the 30s. And that's a look at your 10 weather impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Aaron White here on 97.1 The Fan.
Someone out there probably thinks we spend too much time talking about the Buckeyes. Please tell someone that they're stupid. You're listening to the Buckeye Show.
Hanging out here on the Buckeye Show. Had a chance earlier today on the Ohio State postgame show, talking to some Buckeye hoops. Had a chance to chat with Ohio State assistant coach Joel Justus, and just started off by asking him how he thought about his team's performance, and know that he was probably proud of their performance today.
Our guys, have, demonstrated a ton of fight throughout the season. You go back, throughout many times where we were down, in games and have fought and crawled back. And, that's what you do is you have the season and you take bits and pieces of it and you grow, and ultimately you become a better team throughout the season. And, our goal is to play in championship, mode. And that's what we've done. We put ourselves in a position to win the game today, and ultimately have put ourselves in a position to go, win a national championship here in the next month.
Yeah, Coach, it's going to be exciting to watch Sunday where you guys are drawn. Ultimately, you'll get to your destination early in the portions coming next week. The last 4 possessions offensively, our producer Jacob Reimer and I were kind of going over that for you guys offensively. 2 turnaround jumpers and then 2 missed layups at the line. Was that because of their Michigan size just posed such a big threat offensively, or did you like the looks you kind of got down the stretch at the end of the game?
I mean, I think, yeah. I mean, you want the ball in your best player's hands, and you want the ball ultimately, to get to spots where we've seen, over the, 33 games that we've played, those guys have some success. And, hey, look, we just came up, quite honestly, just a little bit short on all of them, and, it's a make or miss game, and it's a game of inches, all that stuff. So, it's, I think you look at, some of the stuff that we got there, and, could you have done a little bit something different here or there, of course, but it's ultimately a make or miss game. And we've had a lot of makes, throughout this year too, by those guys. And we've got some more makes, ahead of us. And, once again, it's a 40-minute game, and, ultimately you want to put yourself in a position down the stretch to be able to win it, and that's what we did.
He's assistant coach Joel Justus with us here on the postgame show. Coach, I know it was probably good getting Brandon Knoll his first minutes back since, it seems like December, I think, since he's been on the shelf. Can you talk a little bit about, what he's been going through, the amount of work that he's put in to get himself back in? I know he may have been a little bit gassed today. You can't really replicate game speed, especially against a team like Michigan. But when he did get in, I thought he played some really good minutes for you guys today.
No, I mean, and this is, a testament to kind of who we have here at Ohio State. I mean, you look at the amount of injuries that we've had in the last couple months, and guys in and out of the lineup. And, our team doctors, our athletic trainer has done a hell of a job of getting guys healthy and fighting back from injuries or sickness. And, this is just the latest example of that. They've done a tremendous job getting him back ready to go. He obviously has put the work in, and, we've had some healing hands on him. And, you want to go into March and you want to have your full deck. And now we do. And like I said, it was good to get him some minutes, out there today, and knock some of that rust off. And, you look back at Judy Mobley coming back from a broken hand and a finger and, just a couple weeks. And, we've had Tilly with a lingering calf issue. And, Devin Royal was sick there at Michigan State. So, the fight that this team has exhibited over the last couple weeks has been tremendous. And it builds you for March, and that's what we've done. We've built, this team, and Coach Diebler has built this team, to play in championship moments and to play, in championship, tournaments and ultimately to win games. And, that takes everybody. That's our players, that's our staff, that's our, performance staff. And this is a credit to them. And, we're excited. We came up a little bit short today, but once again, these last 2 days, they ultimately build you for what's about to come in the next couple of weeks.
Coach, a guy you just mentioned there, John Mobley Jr., he was on the shelf for a few games, right, with that broken hand. I thought he was terrific to really begin the second half. Started firing on all cylinders. He was making shots. He was dishing the ball well. When he's rolling offensively like that, how tough are you guys to stop offensively when he starts to roll the way that he was in the second half?
He just gives you, such gravity, for other teams to have to defend, and that's opens up a lot, for everybody else. And, like I said, I think when we are firing on all cylinders, when we are healthy and we are demonstrating that fight, we feel really, really good about where we're headed, in the next couple of weeks. Like I said, we were without Taysom Chapman today, and, had a little bit of a tweak who'd given us great minutes, over the last, couple months. And, like I said, we get back, we get healthy, we see where we're headed, and, we lace them up and go play in the greatest sporting event, in the country for the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. I thought Gabe gave you some good minutes, too, kind of in relief of Taysom Chapman. Offensively was good. I think
Absolutely.
He had five points
today. That's what it takes. You get into tournament play, it takes everybody. You're going to have guys come in and give you minutes here, and it's game to game. And once again, when we have our full complement of guys, which we're going to have, moving forward, I think that we're a team that's going to going to give people some fits, but it's about us. It's about our preparation. It's about our fight. It's about our connectedness. And we're excited. I think we're playing our best basketball in March. That's a credit to Deebs and what he's done and how he's trained this group. It's a credit to our players and, how they have responded. And it's once again, it's why you do everything all year is to play in March, and that's what we've done.
Coach, before we get you out of here, kind of the game plan the next couple of days. I know you'll be watching Selection Sunday where you guys are drawn. You'll go to your destination. Any preferences, or is it nameless, faceless opponents? Doesn't matter who's up next for you.
Hey, guys, they could tell us we're playing on the moon. I think we'll be excited about that. And, look, it's about us. Like I said, we have earned the right to play for a national championship here in the next couple of weeks. But, hey, look, we get back, we get healthy. We are going to be busy Sunday at 6 o'clock, though. So that's an exciting, thought to have. But our guys have fought and been connected. And once again, it's an exciting time for us.
Coach, always appreciate the time. Thanks so much for hopping on. Looking forward to see where you guys are drawn on Sunday. Looking forward to next Thursday or Friday. Best of luck in the upcoming week. Congratulations on making the NCAA tournament. And we will check in again down the road, all right?
All right, fantastic. Thank you so much. Go Bucks.
Joel Justus, assistant coach for the Ohio State men's basketball team, joining us on the post-game show. It's always good to talk to one of the assistants, Joel specifically. I mean, I saw him pacing up and down the bench the entire kind of closing stretch for Ohio State and Michigan a little bit earlier on today. But I'll tell you what, man, these guys are fired up. They have every reason that they should be fired up. They're making the NCAA tournament for the first time in 4 years. Bruce Thornton's first NCAA tournament appearance. Jake Diebler's first NCAA tournament appearance as a head coach. And I can't wait to see where they're drawn at, who they're going to be playing, and ultimately if they can continue playing the way that they've been playing basketball, Pat, for the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, one thing that's going to be interesting, and it kind of dawned on me as you were saying that, there's not a lot of NCAA tournament experience on this. There's definitely not on the roster, but even the coaching staff, I think there's some. But, you mentioned Jake Diebler, his first time doing
Brian Walsh
this.
was at Indiana for years.
So there's some, but it'll be interesting to see how they sort of navigate some of the unknowns as opposed to teams that are there every year and just kind of know, at least you get a little bit of experience with that in the Big Ten tournament and kind of that, but you're still going every other day and not every day. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how they handle that.
Dave Dickerson has coached in a lot of NCAA
he's
tournaments.
done
That's one thing that I know, guarantee, and I don't even have to look at the Ohio State coaching staff. I'm guessing Dave Dickerson has coached in more NCAA tournaments than probably the rest of the staff combined.
That could be.
I'm guessing. I'll have to go look. I'm going to Wikipedia that. All right, just to see
ChatGPT.
Just to see how many NCAA tournaments he's appeared in compared to the rest of the Ohio State staff. Then on the other side of the break, Adam Jardy, the Columbus Dispatch. He was at the United Center today, taking in all things Buckeye hoops. We're going to talk to him coming up here in 2 minutes. It's the Buckeye Show on the Fan.
Got this. Breathe. You got this. You got this.
In the moments that truly matter, what do? Rise to the occasion. Ohio Health. It's time.
Working your way through that home projects list, that means more flushes, more showers, more fiddling with the thermostat. Trust the pros at the Waterworks with your plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling needs. Our certified pros can repair or replace your air conditioner or furnace. Clogs? Call the Waterworks. Drain issues? Call the Waterworks. Plumbing problems? Call the Waterworks. HVAC breakdowns? Call the Waterworks. The Waterworks. Trusted and certified plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling experts.
Imagine yourself in a new Toyota, like a powerful new Toyota Tundra. Now through March 31st, you can get $5,000 customer cash on remaining new 25 Tundras while supplies last. Or you can get 2.99 APR financing plus $1,000 TFS APR cash on a new 26 Tundra with approved credit through TFS. Excludes TRD Pro. APR cash must be applied to deal. For complete details, go to Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
There's one medical team in Central Ohio skilled enough to care for your favorite Ohio State team, and Buckeyes everywhere. The Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center is your choice for the most highly specialized orthopedic and sports medicine care. Our surgeons, physicians, and physical therapists have access to the most advanced treatments and innovative recovery approaches to get you back in your game. Because on or off the field, our team is your team. The choice for your orthopedic care is clear.
The Buckeye Show is sponsored by CareSource, proud to be your home for Ohio State athletics. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
We here at The Fan believe there's no such thing as too much Ohio State coverage. You're locked in to The Buckeye Show.
We'll let you know that we're here on The Buckeye Show, brought to you by our good friends over at CareSource. Got my guy Patrick Murphy of Bucknuts hanging in with me tonight. Right now, we head out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Checking with our guy of the Columbus Dispatch. He is Adam Jardy. Adam, thanks for the time. Always appreciate it. We were just talking about the coaching staff for Ohio State, the players. Really, Adam, in the last few years, not being, participating in the NCAA tournament, not being selected on Selection Sunday. And I said, I wonder if Dave Dickerson has more NCAA tournament appearances as a coach than the rest of the staff combined. I think it would be close, Adam, but I think I would go with my guy, Coach Dave Dickerson, on that front.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, Joel Justus racked up quite a few. He's got time at Kentucky, and certainly the run that he had at NC State with DJ Burns going nuts. So he might be able to, certainly in a more recent case, be able to impact that. But yeah, Dave Dickerson was there for some significant deep runs for Ohio State. That's a great callback.
What was your takeaway today, Adam? Just biggest takeaways for Ohio State's close loss against Michigan at the United Center earlier on this afternoon?
I think my biggest takeaway is that them losing this game doesn't really seem to diminish the momentum I think this team ended the season with. I felt like that was my biggest question talking to players in the locker room and just trying to get a feel for how they handle this, because it's like they've played really high level basketball here really since the calendar flipped to March. And when you play like that, but then you come up short in a game like this, that you're playing your rival and it's in a tournament and you feel like you can make a deep run in it, is it deflating a little bit? Does this change anything about, the momentum that you've been able to generate here the last couple of weeks? And as I'm sitting here at gate L9 at O'Hare, I don't really think that it does. I feel like they're still very much focused on, the fact they feel like they can put a run together. They feel like they're playing high level basketball, and they feel like they're going to, take a run at somebody here in the NCAA tournament and that they're going to make some noise.
I love that gate, Adam. That's a good one at O'Hare. So, enjoy it while you're there. In all serious note, the Bruce Thornton narrative here, obviously he wanted to make a run, but now he has a few days off. They can get healthy. What stands out to you the most about him finally being able to play in an NCAA tournament here in the coming week?
I think there's probably a sense of relief. I mean, I don't know that, how much. I'm curious when it's officially finally announced. Sorry about the announcement here. I don't know, like, once it's announced, if maybe he's going to react differently to that or if he's going to feel any differently. But it does seem like, this is something that was just missing on the resume, obviously. And, he seemed a little bit, lighter, I guess, post-game, like talking to him in the locker room. He didn't seem like, completely devastated by the loss. And I think there is that realization they're going to get that opportunity now.
I think it's going to be huge, right? I mean, this is all we've been talking about really the last few years as we check in with Adam Jardy, the Columbus Dispatch, as we hear the PA announcer talking about flights. Hopefully you're able to get back home, Adam. I think the wind has died down a little bit outside, but
in the windy
I know
city.
You're in the windy city. Chicago's used to it, but there's like 50 or 60 mile an hour gusts here today, Adam. It was crazy.
Yeah, I was thinking about Homer Simpson as a pilot on The Simpsons, saying how they need a pilot to go to the Windy City, but conditions are a little windy and everyone drops out. And that's been my number one thought as I've been here trying to figure out if this plane's going to take off tonight or not.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Again, I just went outside, Adam, so I think you're going to be okay. I think it's supposed to die down past 8 o'clock as we get here, so should be fun. Adam, I mean, you've been there probably the whole week. I know the Big Ten tournament started, way earlier than the games that we saw unfolding today over at the United Center. When you compare yesterday's performance to today's performance, was there a stark difference? Because I thought they played pretty similar. The way that Iowa got back in the game yesterday, Ohio State kind of took a page out of their playbook and was able to kind of scratch and claw their way back into the game against Michigan.
Yeah, I just thought in this game, some of the shots didn't fall. I mean, I was just looking back at my play-by-play the last couple of minutes there, and it's like, Ohio State's down 3, Ohio State's down 4, and, Devin Royal takes a fadeaway in the paint that doesn't fall. Bruce Thornton has a floater in the paint that doesn't fall. Or Bruce has a layup that doesn't fall. Like, shots that were going in yesterday, that they needed to go in critical moments just didn't fall in this game. And I just thought, like that ended up ultimately being the very slim difference in this game. I mean, otherwise, like this team, like defensively looks different to me. Like they just look like they're defending at a higher level than than I thought was maybe capable for this team. And I was just looking before you guys called. I was on barttorvik.com and looking at we keep saying they've been playing better in March, and how much better is that? Well, if you look at like the analytics since the start of March, they're the number 6 team in the country. And that's like right behind Arizona, Duke, Michigan is number 10. Like they're right there. Like the way they've played these last 2.5 weeks is right on par with the best teams in the country. And I just feel like we're seeing that in front of our eyes, and they're peaking at the right time.
Why do you think it is that the defense is picked up? Obviously, that was something we were talking about a lot at the beginning of the season. What has been different in your eyes?
I think you have some guys that maybe just seem to be a little bit more bought in on that end. I think that they are seeing results to like some of the work that they've put in. And I think some of it too is just like so many things about this team and why it's maybe been playing better lately is they have all their dudes available. And I think that like when you know who you have and you know that you can kind of trust the next guy, I think that and not even just trust them, but just trust that they're going to be in the lineup. Like that ends up making a difference. And I think some of that consistency, plus the just, general, like you hope that teams would grow over the course of a season. You hope that things get better as you go along, you play more basketball with each other. And I think, to the credit of this coaching staff, I think they've done a good job bringing that out in this team, and that, we've seen Ohio State teams certainly the last several years that have gotten to this part of the year and they're going in the wrong direction. Yeah. But they have managed to bring this team along in a way that they're getting really committed buy-in at both ends of the court, and that's helping make them look really dangerous right now.
I thought it was interesting, Adam, listening to Jake Diebler yesterday after the victory against Iowa. And I know you were in the locker room, so I don't know if you got a chance to hear Jake's podium comments after their victory, but he was asked about that. Can you just describe the difference between maybe last year's team or a couple of years ago compared to where they're at now? And he kind of took a page almost out of really any coaching playbook, but he's like, the foundation is so much stronger, guys, that even when it seemed to be down and out or our backs were up against the wall and we weren't really that healthy, just the buy-in overall seems to be much stronger, because you mentioned it. You nailed it, right? I mean, February and March were always a slog for this team. They would do what they needed to do between October, November, December, and then that slide would happen. And every time it looked like that slide may happen this year, they pulled themselves right out of it, which is a main reason why they're going to have their names called on Sunday.
Yeah, and I think it probably validates a little bit. I mean, Pat can certainly speak to this too, but like how many times in the last 2 years we've heard Jake Diebler say this is a different program. That they're building something different. They're drawing a line from some of the recent struggles of the program it had, and I think it's fallen a little bit on deaf ears at times, because it has in some ways felt very similar. And it's like, I understand the messaging and I understand the notion behind that. It hasn't always necessarily felt that, but I think all that stuff he's been saying about like the foundation and like all these, like they are starting to put some of that like pen to paper. Like you're starting to see what that looks like, and you're starting to see some of the hallmarks, I think, of what they want this program to look like. And now, we could be talking all this stuff and then, they go to the NCAA tournament, lose the first round and, whatever. But either way, like I think that a lot of that stuff is being validated right now by the way the team's closing the season and this consistent high-level stretch that they've put together that started when their backs were against the wall. Because coming out of that Iowa loss, it was in every way imaginable. It felt like it was spiraling in one direction, and they've picked it up. They've flipped it back around, whatever phrase you want to use. And, we're going to get March Madness in Columbus. And I think we can all agree we're excited about that.
Yeah, absolutely. I know you, obviously being there, weren't listening to the broadcast, but in both games the last 2 days, they were talking about Amari Bynum and almost seemed surprised by what he gives this team. Obviously a freshman who, maybe has flown under the radar a little bit. What have you seen from his growth? And not to look too far ahead, but what do you think about him going forward into next year?
I think what's been impressive with him in this stretch is that he's scoring at all three levels, really. I mean, he's getting to the rim. He's been this team's best and most exciting dunker all season, and it's been fun to see some of that on like some of these big games here where he really is creating those highlight reels that are fun to watch. But he's also been knocking down shots. I mean, his ability to stretch the floor and to hit from 3-point range, that was a big thing that they liked about him when they were recruiting him. That was a major selling point in his development, why they felt like they were getting a bit of a, not necessarily diamond in the rough, but a guy who's a little bit off the radar. And, you look around the country at like an unbelievably talented freshman class, his name doesn't get mentioned in there, and rightfully so. I mean, he hasn't had the type of season that like an AJ Devonsa has, or, go down the list, but he's putting together consistent high-level play here late. And that's really, I mean, it takes pressure off Bruce and Junie in the backcourt. It gives them a consistent-ish presence down low. It doesn't put everything on Devin Royal's shoulders. It's just, you can see like the things kind of clicking for him, that like he's kind of come through some of those freshman struggles, and he understands now what it takes to do this at a high level consistently.
Adam, before we get you out of here, how much are they going to have to rely if they want to do some damage in the NCAA tournament on Taysom Chapman, Gabe Cupps, and then it was good to see Brandon Knoll mix it up with some minutes today?
I mean, yeah, those guys are going to be important for sure. And, if anybody that you can get off the bench, they can chip in a couple of points, couple of minutes, and just help overall. Like, there's a lot of the guys in the team that have not been in this situation. And I think the more options that you have who can, maybe if someone's got a few nerves or the ball isn't bouncing the right way for them, if you have, one or two other guys that you think can chip in and help, carry the load for a couple of minutes and steady things, the more options in that regard that you have, the better. And I actually like how Gabe Cupps played in this Big Ten tournament. I think he's starting to maybe settle in a little bit at an important time. And they don't think Taysom Chapman's going to be out any sort of long-term deal. And they should be 100% fully healthy when they play in the NCAA tournament. That's going to be a wild thought.
When was the last time they were 100% fully healthy, Adam?
Preseason?
The OU exhibition game? Or maybe not even then.
Yeah, something like I have to go back and look.
Adam, always appreciate the time. Thanks for hopping on with us here this evening. Safe travels if you're able to get back home to Columbus. Looking forward to checking in next week, wherever you may land and the Buckeyes may land in the NCAA tournament, all right?
Appreciate you guys having me, and thanks for dealing with the background noise.
It's all good. Love airport sounds. There he goes. Adam Jardy, the Columbus Dispatch, with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. The only thing I like more about the airport than the airport PA system, Patrick, is what?
Airport beers.
That is correct. You are right about that. Hashtag Buckeyes coming at you next. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
We're the highest rated sports radio station in America. There's no joke there. We just are. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Picture ditching the daily grind for spontaneous thrills, zipping from Columbus bustle to backcountry bliss in the Ford Bronco Sport. Lock in 2.9% APR for 36 months. Snag up to $4,500 in cash or lease for just $399 a month. Compact, fierce, and loaded with smarts for any adventure. Who says you can't have it all? Capital Ford of Columbus opens doors for every credit story. Pre-qualified online. Zero stress at capitalfordofcolumbus.com.
Hey, Columbus, big news. For a limited time, get Uber One free for a full year so you can save on food and rides. That's a $96 value on us. Just use code Columbus. Get 1 year of $0 delivery fees, 10% off eligible food and grocery orders, and up to 6% Uber One credits on rides. Sign up for this limited time offer today using code Columbus and save big with Uber One. Offer valid through 3/31/26. Savings and $0 delivery fee on eligible orders and rides only. Fees and terms apply. See app for details.
At the American Lung Association, we're fighting for a day when we can all breathe easier. We're fighting for clear skies over every city and healthy lungs throughout the country. We're fighting to free millions of Americans from the addictive grip of tobacco and the devastating effects of lung disease. The American Lung Association isn't just fighting for air, we're fighting for all the things that make it worth breathing, and we can use your help. See what you can do at fightingforair.org.
Veterans and active duty service members, when your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Hey, it's Common Man. And T-Bone.
And Timmy.
And Tyvis. Pizza Madness is here.
Oh, Pizza Madness, baby.
PizzaMadness.pizza on the interwebs. Vote now. It's brought to you by Billiards Plus.
Go vote, you stupid idiots.
Hosting a passionate crew of Buckeye fans? Revamp your rec room for an epic watch party with power reclining sofas, massaging recliners, entertainment centers, and coffee tables from Bob's. They even have sofas with drop-down tables for snacks and bevs. Shop in-store or online to score big on an incredible game day setup at Bob's everyday low prices. Bob's Discount Furniture, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Attention Columbus. Town Properties just clinched the title of the largest residential property manager in Columbus, thanks to the Columbus Business Journal. With pride, we oversee 25,000 plus households in the Columbus metro area, ensuring fantastic places to call home. Whether you're on the hunt for an exceptional living space, a top-notch association management company, or a property manager for your multifamily portfolio, visit our website at town.properties.com and let us elevate your living experience. Town Properties, always managing great places to live.
Save time, reduce costs, and eliminate printer frustrations with Modern Office Methods, your award-winning managed print services provider. We know how to help your business reduce the cost of office printing by identifying necessary print and paper waste. We can improve your printer fleet and decrease the amount of printer frustration. Why wait? Start saving time and money today. Start with our comprehensive print fleet assessment by going to momnet.com and click on Free Assessment.
They're trained. They're prepared.
Let's do it.
They're Ohio's undefeated plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling team. And they're here to tackle your problems. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Patriot Air Comfort Systems in Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep your home comfortable. The Fan.
Social media can be a cesspool. Allow us to navigate the waters. #Buckeyes.
Sponsored by the Waterworks. Call the plumbing, heating, and cooling technicians at the Waterworks and header today. Call 614-232-2222. Proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Oh, man. What a week it's been. On to the weekend. I feel like we've been here for 48 straight hours, Reimer. Been here. We've been hanging out.
We just got one more segment, man.
That's it. Coming up at 8 o'clock, we'll get you out to the Big East Tournament.
I don't know what you guys are complaining about.
We got UConn and Georgetown. Nobody's complaining. I'm just saying, I feel like we've been here for the last 2 days.
I've been here a normal amount.
Yeah, you have been. You've been here since 5:30 this evening.
Oh, yeah.
And I've got to Uber you to a fun activity tonight.
Yes.
That's what I'm doing after the show. I ain't even go home immediately. I got to drop Pat off at some place.
You don't have to.
No, I know. I offered because it's not that far away from my house. And it's not exactly on the way, but it's easy to get from to my house from where I'm dropping you off at.
Yes, that's valid.
What are you doing this weekend? What are you doing tomorrow? I mean, it's a full day off. I'll be watching college basketball, just kind of hanging out. It's supposed to be pretty nice, right? I mean, mid-50s. I think it's going to be sunshine. It's not supposed to be nearly as windy as what it was today. I've got nothing on the schedule tomorrow. I know what you're doing. You got a lot of adult stuff that you got to handle, some grown-up things going on, house and all kinds of different crazy stuff. But I know you'll still watch more college basketball than me tomorrow with all that going on.
Oh yeah, it'll definitely be on. Shout out to my little girl Nora. She's 6 months old today.
All right, happy half birthday.
So doing stuff with her over the weekend.
Her half birthday is one day after Ryan Day's actual birthday.
And Dom Taberry.
You told me that earlier.
Yeah, wow. It was his birthday yesterday.
Some elite company.
Yeah, we got all kinds of stuff. It's actually my dog's 5th birthday today. So all kinds of birthdays going on here. Before we get out of here tonight, our fan poll sponsored by JT's Pizza. You can vote online at 971thefan.com or on X at 971thefan. What's your confidence level in the Buckeyes today going up against Michigan? Michigan wins easily. Michigan wins but close. OSU pulls off the upset. Buckeyes by 100.
Can I go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to say Michigan wins, but it's a tight one. It's a real tight one.
That's actually not the leading vote getter. The leading vote getter was Michigan wins easily. 36.8% of the vote. 36.2% of the vote going to Michigan wins but close. OSU pulls off the upset, 21%, and then 6% said Buckeyes by 100.
I probably would have said Michigan wins easily before that game.
I was feeling confident that it was going to be a close game. I mean, Reimer and I, when we got off of the warm-up show this morning, we said that it's going to be it's going to be tight down the stretch. And then we got into the game, and you and I looked at each other, Reimer's like, this is going to be a one-possession game at the end. This is going to go all the way down to the wire, just with the way that Michigan opened up the game. Ohio State responded. I said, this is kind of the opposite. This is exactly what Iowa did to this team yesterday. So I always thought it was going to be close because there was just no way, Pat, that they were going to have the performance that they did a couple of weeks at home against Michigan, and then the performance that they had on the road against Iowa. They weren't going to lay an egg. They're playing too well right now to lay an egg.
Yeah, I think Michigan's really good. I think that, just the talent and the size and the athleticism on that roster is going to be tough for every team. We've seen that pretty much every time they've stepped on the court this year. And I thought maybe what the Buckeyes were able to do in Ann Arbor was probably the ceiling, but credit to Ohio State. Like you said, they are playing really well. Adam and Reimer both highlighted some of the analytical numbers about this team.
Torvik, KenPom.
Yeah.
Any other analytic website, Bracket Matrix? That's not really an analytics website. That's more of just a conglomeration of people.
Evan Miyakawa has a great site too.
Okay. Can I just, when I'm looking for something, can I just text you and ask you to find it for me?
All right.
Absolutely, you can.
That's all he does. You and Tyler Danberg this afternoon and Colin were just rattling off crazy stats, just advanced analytics from where you guys are pulling it out of Torvik. And
shout out Torvik.
I mean, the trapezoid of excellence. And oh, by the way, Ohio State.
Shout out Hammer.
Ohio State, if you don't know, how many national champions has it been the last 15 national champions have finished inside of the trapezoid of excellence, which is a combination of a bunch of different metrics and everything. And there's only 6 or 7, 8 teams that finish inside of this trapezoid of excellence. Ohio State, very close to getting inside the trapezoid of excellence. They're not too far away from getting in there. So I'm not predicting an Ohio State national championship for basketball, but they are closer to being in the trapezoid of excellence than North Carolina is currently, which I feel like is a good thing.
Well, I mean, Caleb Wilson's also out.
Yeah, you're right. He is out.
For everybody that wants to know, the trapezoid of excellence, it measures a team's efficiency net rating against tempo, pace of play. So how they do against up-tempo and style of play like that.
Yeah, they slowed it down against Michigan today. That was their game plan. You heard Jake Diebler talking about that in his post-game press conference.
I didn't love that.
What?
I get why you did it against Michigan. I don't want to see that in the NCAA tournament.
You don't want them to slow down opponents?
No, I want them to play their brand of basketball.
They're good going up and down.
Yeah, Jake Diebler, and I get it against Michigan, right? We talked about the athleticism and all that. It makes sense, but going forward, assuming it's not another, there's not another Michigan really. I mean, maybe Duke can kind of do some of that stuff.
All of these teams who are going to be 1 seeds pose a very big threat with their front lines. All of them do.
Yeah, but I would like to see,
Michigan's got probably the best front court out of any of those number 1 seeds, though.
Go out there and play your brand. And if that's not good enough, you lose the way you got there. I would like to see that.
So it's interesting. So I think looking at the NCAA tournament predictions and bracket matrix and where Ohio State is at, I think if they won the Big Ten tournament, if they won today, there'd be a real argument for them to jump up to the 7 line. I think if they lost yesterday, there would be an argument from the selection committee to drop them down to a 10 seed. Ultimately, I mean, we will find out come 6:15, 6:30 on Sunday afternoon exactly where they're seated at. I'm in the camp, Pat. I believe that Ohio State is going to be an 8-9 seed. So if you do win the first round game, you're going to get drawn against the number 1 seed if they can beat the 16 seed in their opening game.
Which isn't a foregone conclusion.
No,
anymore.
It is not. You are correct. 1 in however many games there are for 1 in 16 seeds. It's happened 1 time in NCAA tournament history.
Twice.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Twice, yeah.
Virginia with UMBC.
And then Purdue.
Purdue, which was
Our
here
guys.
in
Yes,
Columbus to Fairleigh Dickinson.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Shout out Tobin Anderson.
Yeah, so 2 in whatever the record is. So it's not a foregone conclusion that if you win your first round game that you're going to be playing a number 1 seed. But Reimer and I, we've kind of been scouring and projecting and planning where Ohio State potentially could get drawn to. Now, Reimer, they cannot be drawn in the same bracket as Michigan, correct?
Yes, this is from last year's parameters on the NCAA's website that if you play a team from the same conference 3 times, including in the conference tournament, you cannot play them until the Elite 8.
Okay.
So that is off the table.
So they will not be in Michigan's 8-9 game where you could potentially play them in the second round.
Now, I think it doesn't leave out the possibility of being with Michigan State or Illinois because you only played them once.
Yeah.
And it says if you only played them once, you can play them as early as the second round.
That is correct, but they're also not going to be 1 seeds, and Ohio State's going to be an 8-9 seed.
That's if they get to the 10 line or somehow find a 7.
But if they are on that 8-9 line, there are 3 destinations that they could go. Michigan is going to take Philly, so that's off the table. Duke is also going to be a 1 seed. They're going to go to Greenville. So Greenville, South Carolina is going to be on the table for this Ohio State team. Tampa, because you're going to get the Florida Gators as a 1 seed, will be on the table. And then San Diego, Arizona will be a 1 seed. So there are like 3 destinations if Ohio State is on that 8-9 line where they could potentially be playing. And I can guarantee you one thing, Reimer. It's going to be Friday night, late night, in the last game of like the opening round of the NCAA tournament. And we're going to be here for all of it.
It's going to be a long day with that.
Yes, it will be. So San Diego, Tampa, or Greenville is what we're thinking. But who knows? Come 6:30, 6:45 on Sunday, we will have the answer. You'll have Ohio State's first round opponent. It should be fun. Pat, I had a great time with you here this evening. I'll check in with you again next week, all right?
Sounds good.
Everyone have an awesome weekend. Reimer and I will be back on 10 TV and 10 TV Plus on Sunday for our selection. So everyone have an awesome weekend. Talk to you next week. We got some college hoops between Georgetown and UConn in the Big East Tournament coming up next on The Fan.
The radio couldn't contain us, so we've taken over YouTube. Catch Morning Juice weekday mornings at 6 by searching 971 The Fan.